That is for sure.
We'll see. I'll keep you posted, ladies, if she's a real person.
I love it. I'm sure she is. Jackie is at 8 and Doug is at 2. Leslie is at 6. I'm also at 6. All right. That can stop for now. Oh no. All right, cool beans. I will get started because why not, right? Why not? So tonight is what? It is the 17th of August. I should know because I've been reminded all day that it is 1 month until Paxton's birthday. So it is practically a holiday in my household. And we are just over the halfway point of the month, and school push and summer winding down and all of the things that come with that. And the pumpkin scented candles that Brittany is posting about and all of the fall things are happening. And that's a good thing because it means people are in the mood to plan. They will tell you they're overwhelmed. They will tell you they've got a lot going on, but what's the difference if we have a solution to offer them within that? So really be thinking about that, about how something like the freezer meal prep party that Jackie's organizing, or, you know, a free challenge group, or shorter workouts, or whatever it is that you have as a solution to that busyness, while capitalizing on everybody's need to plan and get their act together. So they'll be more open than you imagine they would be, considering they just want something to cling to and some kind of sense of understanding and flow and schedule. So lead with all of that stuff. I realized I put my notes for what I was going to talk about off to the side. I don't want to go through any coach announcements. I don't want to go through back office stuff because I want to give us plenty of time to get some invites done. Since it is a Team Cup month, I will be doing another 100 invite challenge. You're welcome to stay on for as little or as much as you would like. But before that, I want to talk about one of the themes that's kind of run through my coaching that I feel like I have forgotten to discuss or really to hone in on. And this is the idea to control the controllables. And when I was thinking about my content for today, I was actually thinking about the bad mood that I'm in, okay? I'm in a bad mood just in general, not only because of hormones and the time of the month and all the stresses we were discussing, but I'm in a bad mood today in particular because I've lost track of how many emails out to people that are not being responded to. And it's been stressing me out. And I've been checking my email inbox a million times. I don't mean coach invites, just or coach emails, personal emails, things about school, things about my refinance, things about, you know, who knows, a credit card charge we got for karate that has still not been taken care of. Different emails that I am sitting and waiting on. And they've been gnawing at me and really aggravating me. And every time I took a breath today, I was thinking about them and refreshed my email again to see they weren't there. And I realized I was focusing on something so entirely out of my control. And I know we do that all the time with our business. I just sat in for a bit of Jessica's new coach call because I also don't want to ever overlap topics because that would just be really aggravating for everybody. But I wanted to hear what she was saying. And someone asked the question about hashtags or cold versus warm market and how you grow. And it made me think of that as well. I'll sit there sometimes and I'll do my activities and I'll try to add some people and I'll look at my Instagram growth and it's really not very big. Or I'll put a post out there that I think is really good and it doesn't hit many people, or all that stuff, right? It's the same thing as me sitting around and waiting on that email and refreshing it instead of just putting my nose down and continuing to get to work. Instead of opening up the phone and calling one of these people that I'm waiting on, instead of going to the next post and sending content or you know, communicating with the people who have interacted with it, instead of just continuing to add to my network and not look at the number of people who are following me back just yet. Just put your nose down and get to work. And when we can control the controllables, we can keep our mood and our attitude in the right direction. And I want to give you an example that made me remember this, not only because my mood was so sour, but because I did just this recently and it went in my favor. And I know this is happening for you as well. Last time I talked to Jackie, she was not at 8 and 2 Success Club points, but look at her now because she's controlling the controllable. I think very similarly to what I'm about to say happened to me. And I texted her about this when it happened. So behind me, I have my whiteboard. Teresa posted a picture of hers in Team Fit Dynasty last week. And it got me thinking because I introduced that concept to Teresa like a year or so ago, and I was really on top of it. And I was really religious in updating my whiteboard. And the way that I do it, and you can do it all different ways, but I have my business center and all of my coaches that are growing. And I write down in black, anybody that's an active coach. I write down in green, anybody that's an emerald coach. In blue, anybody that's a diamond. And in orange, anybody that's inactive, but they're still there, they're still coaching, right? And I have them all up there. But then what I started to do like a year or so ago, hi buddy, is in pink, write down the names of people I see filling those empty spots. So in my second CBC, I wrote down, right now I have 8 names there. I wrote down 8 names in pink the other day because as of the other day, I had no coaches in my second CBC. Under Mike, I filled in the rest of his one leg opposite Leslie because he only has an inactive coach on that side. So I filled in 3 more coaches on that side. All prospects, all in pink. They don't even know they're on my list yet. Some of them came from my hot list, and some of them are just challengers that I love, or people that I follow on Instagram that I adore, or one is my brother's girlfriend who I will make a coach one day. Like, it's going to happen, that kind of stuff, right? It's just going to happen. And you know what happened for me on Sunday night? My second CBC is now Emerald. I signed 2 of the coaches I had listed on that list as coaches, and that CBC is now Emerald. And I erased their pink names and I made them black because I controlled the controllable. I stopped refreshing my coach office hoping a coach would appear. I stopped refreshing an email hoping someone would email me back. I continued to talk to people. I continued to do the vitals. I continued to use my Success Club tracker. I continued to look back in my notebook and see who I hadn't talked to recently. And one of them was one of the girls who I had sent an email to a while back, and she emailed me back and signed up right away. I continued to control my narrative. I set a vision and I made it happen. You have the ability. And I know there's going to be moments where the business gets aggravating, or your life gets aggravating, or your mood is just aggravated for whatever reason. But put your nose down and do the next thing. That's all. Don't wait and hope that the thing you did before is going to work out. Just do the next thing. Send another invite if you're feeling like your invites are falling flat. Connect with 10 more people on Instagram. Start sending people freebies or just liking and commenting on their posts because no one's doing it for you. Just do the next thing. It isn't complicated. It's just consistency. And it's just remembering to control your controllables. And you can control your mood. You can control what isn't happening for you by continuing to do exactly what you know is right. That's following these systems. It's making things happen. Okay. So please promise me you will continue to do those things. Just a couple of key words that you might need to remember in case you forget of the next best thing, things that you can control. You can control your growth. That doesn't mean your Instagram number is going to go up every day by a gazillion people, but you can continue to add and continue to add and continue to add and use your collections. You can continue, or you can control who you contact. You can contact them again with follow-ups. You can send recipes. You can send freebies. You can send birthday messages. You can ask your challengers for referrals. You can continue to contact and connect with more people that way. You could continue to control the value you're giving people. That Instagram audit that I've been posting on Thursdays that I've realized just now that I forgot to actually post. I created it, my thing, I spaced it out and I never posted it in Tribe. That helps me to realize when I'm providing value and when I'm not. And it's really making my posts more intentional. I also tend to look through my stories now before I post another story so that I can see if I've been kind of showy and boring or if I'm giving some value. And some days are better than others. That's just the fact. And if I am short for value, you know what I have? I have a collection that's just entitled Posts. And it's really cool quotes or awesome Mel Robbins talks or Glennon Doyle, content that I can share to my stories because I got nothing to say, but they sure do. Today I shared something from Sean T because he said it better than I could. Very much similar to what I'm saying right now. Have something like that. So I've got nothing valuable to say. They do, right? You don't always have to be the expert. The other thing that you can control is your systems. Keep yourself organized. I know on the new coach call, Jess showed that she has her Success Club system all bound. I have mine in a binder. Maybe that's because I'm an English teacher or just a teacher in general. I love binders. So I have a binder. I keep a Post-it for the current week. I also have in here tabs for my dream team, prospects, referrals that I want to reach out to for people, and also all of my 80-day obsession trackers. And in the front of it is my meal plan and a calendar. And on the calendar, if I can get to that, that's all my 80-day obsession meal plan stuff. Each day I write down the number of Instagram followers I have and how many I'm following. Just a quick way for me to keep track. I'm tracking. We did a Julie Voris training today, a power hour. And in it, she says, you know how I know I'm sucking at this category? Because I'm tracking. You can control what you track. You can't control what you're like, did I do that? Did I? I don't know. Track it, right? And the last thing that you can control is your intention. When you sit down to work, sit down to work. If you have 10 minutes, give yourself 10 solid minutes before you get up and pee, before you fill your water, before you get your kid a fruit snack, unless that's just me, because I'm like the fruit snack fairy. That's all they want all day long is all the fruit snacks. But sit down and give yourself that intentional time. Have a goal in mind and reach it in that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Maybe it's sending X number of invites. Maybe it's organizing your collections. Maybe it's leaving some voice memos. I don't mean sit down and be like, in 10 minutes, I'm going to hit Success Club. That would be grand, but at least give yourself intention and work towards that. Okay? So with that in mind, intentions, we are going to go for no, and we're going to reach as many invites as we can. I filled out my tracker or my invite list. I have 32 names down today that I'm going to start inviting, and I color coded them. If they're blank, I'm inviting them to MBF. If they're blue, I'm inviting them to my coach mentorship I started today. And if they're purple, I'm inviting them to meal prep so that I can make it super simple. And all of these are Instagram. When I finish this column, I'm moving over to Facebook so I don't get locked out of Instagram. I'll write those down as I go, and then I'll move on back to Instagram and go from there. But you guys have all been on here. You've seen the graphics. You know what to do. Just invite. Or if you need to check in with your challengers, check in with your challengers. If you need to mute me or already have muted me and just need to put your nose down and get to work, put your nose down and get to work. But I'm going to be on here till I get as far as I can or until my kids burn down the house. All right? Okay. Let's do it. Fire. I'm going to stop recording. Since last week, I let it run for that whole hour.